Namaskaram. My name is S. Ashok Kumar. Welcome to my channel. From this video, I am going to explain different types of organic biomolecules. Those include, like, I will explain in the abundancy order. First, I will explain about the most abundant biomolecule, that is the proteins. One form of protein is the enzymes. That I will explain second. Next, the second most abundant molecule, that is the nucleic acid, I will explain. Followed by carbohydrates. Finally, I will explain the lipids. Okay, na? Here, this chapter, I will cover all NCERT points so that board exam students can easily use this one. Plus, in the NEET exam, from this chapter biomolecules, definitely you will get 3 to 4 questions. Those 3 to 4 questions definitely 100% will cover in my chapter. That is why you can follow my channel. Now I am going to start explanation about the proteins, introductory thing. Actually, what is the definition of the proteins? Proteins are heteropolymer of 20 types of amino acids. You can wait here. So I started protein definition like heteropolymer. You can ask, sir, will proteins exist as a homopolymer? Now I am telling proteins never exist as a homopolymer. That is why proteins always heteropolymers only. They are heteropolymers of 20 types of amino acids. What it means, For example, if you take a cell, that cell consists of, for example, 200 types of amino acid, not number, types. These total types of amino acid, we can classify it into two types. One is a proteinaceous amino acid. The second part is called as a non-proteinaceous amino acid. First, take the proteinaceous amino acid. The amino acids involved in the protein synthesis comes under proteinaceous amino acid, also called as a standard amino acids. There belongs to 20 types. These 20 types also called as a magic 20. Comes to the non-proteinaceous amino acid. These non-proteinaceous amino acid, definitely they are part of metabolism, but they are not involved in the protein synthesis. They are all together called as a non-proteinaceous or non-standard amino acids. So that in both chemistry biopolymers and these biology biomolecule, you should remember only 20 types of amino acids. Those are standard or proteinaceous amino acids. Next one, like proteins are most complex, most abundant. As I said, what is the percentage of these proteins? 10 to 15%. Most complex, most abundant, most diverse molecule. That means, that is why that proteins, name deriving from the proteose. Proteose means first, the best biomolecule, that is a proteins. That is a proteins are the most complex, made up of 20 types of subunit, so-called amino acid. Most abundant, 10 to 15%. Most diverse biomolecule. Okay. Now, next I am going to explain about the functional classification of proteins. What it mean? What are the different types of functions shown by the proteins? The best function of the protein is the enzymes. As we know, 99% of the enzymes in the biological system, those are proteins. Example for enzymes, pepsin, trypsin. When I said these two, you can understand these are the digestive specific proteolytic enzymes. Next one, hexokinase. Where you can see this enzyme. Hexokinase is the first enzyme in the glycolysis. Next one is that succinate dehydrogenase. You have to remember this enzyme. This enzyme is a part of the Krebs cycle. And one more example I am giving, that is a Rubisco, etc. So now I will speak about the Rubisco. What is the first full form of the Rubisco? Ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase or oxygenase. First one. Second one is that this Rubisco is the most important or the rate determining enzyme of dark reactions of the photosynthesis. Next point is that this Rubisco is present in the most abundant protein in the stroma of the chloroplast. The last one, Rubisco is the most abundant protein in the whole biosphere. This point is absolutely important. Rubisco is the most abundant protein in the biosphere. Next one, hormones. As we know, many hormones are protein derived. For example, insulin, glucagon, etc. So take the insulin. First importance of insulin is actually insulin is a protein made up of 51 number of amino acids. Okay na? Next one, protein is the first protein has been sequenced by Frederick Sanger, Nobel laureate. Next one, insulin belongs to hypoglycemic hormone, responsible for the reduce the blood glucose level. Okay. Next one, transporters. 100% of the transporters are proteins. Like hemoglobin. When I said itself, hemoglobin is the transporter of oxygen. Next one is albumin. Blood albumin. Albumin responsible for the transport of the fatty acids. Next, NCERT, very important one, GLUT4. GLU stands for glucose, T for transporter. Number 4. Actually, these glucose transporters are 12 types. Designated as GLUT1, GLUT2 up to GLUT12. Here, what is importance of GLUT4 that is given in the NCERT, Glucose transporter 4 is insulin independent transporter. Insulin dependent glucose transporter. What it means that other than the glucose transporter 4, remaining all glucose transporter allows only transport of the glucose only in the presence of the insulin. But GLUT4 transport or facilitate the transport of the glucose even in the absence of insulin. That is why GLUT4 belongs to insulin independent glucose transporter. Next one, receptors. 100% of the receptors are belongs to protein. Even there is no even one exception. Some receptor associated with the tongue. Those are called as a papillae. Papillae belongs to taste buds. Next one, some receptors associated with the nose. Those are olfactory receptors. Olfactory receptors. The total body, even eye containing the different types of photoreceptors are there now. So total our body associated with the sensory receptors. Even receptors for the hormones are belongs to this category. Next one, contractile proteins. When I said contractile proteins, immediately you can imagine the structure of sarcomere that consists of actin, myosin, troponin, as we know, tropomyosin, etc. The next one, structural proteins. Structural or fibrous proteins. Those include keratin. Our nails and hair total made up of the keratin. Our body total is covered with the keratin protein. Keratin, collagen, elastin, etc. Collagen and elastin are intracellular substances, tissue substances. What is the importance of collagen? First importance I am telling. Collagen is unique to the animals. Okay na? This collagen is the most abundant protein in the animals. Don't get confused. Rubisco is the most abundant protein in the biosphere. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the animals. The next one, genetic proteins. Those genetic proteins include histones. What is the function of histones? Histones are the DNA packing proteins in the eukaryotes. Next one, defense proteins. These defense proteins include antibodies. For example, if I write antibodies, that is the IgG. What is the one importance of the IgG? IgG is the only known antibody can cross the placenta. See how many functions proteins can do. That is why I am telling like there is no other biomolecule can do such a diverse functions. That is why what you need to remember, proteins not only structurally but also functionally are the most diverse biomolecule. After functional classification of proteins, now I am going to explain about the amino acids. First, I will start with the general structure of amino acids. First thing, these amino acids are substituted methane. I will make you understand. For example, you take methane. H. So CH4 is a methane. Substituted methane. Amino acid. For example, here it is a amino group. Is it acidic or basic? Basic. Due to the presence of lone pairs. Next one is the acid, COOH. Actually, we need to write COO minus. For time being, I am writing the COOH. Okay? See, name will clarify. Amino acid. Means this structure consists of two different functional groups. Amino group, basic group, acid group, that is the COOH. Here what you need to remember, these two functional group attaches to the same carbon, that carbon atom designating as a alpha carbon. That is why such amino acids are called as a alpha amino acids. In our cell, there are so many alpha, beta, gamma, delta types of amino acids are there. But the most common amino acids are alpha amino acid. An amino acid in which both functional group attaches to the same carbon called alpha carbon, and those amino acids are called as a alpha amino acids. Then third valency as usually H. So total 20 types of amino acid. When you are discussing the structure of those amino acid, these three are remains a constant. From one amino acid to another amino acid, variable group that is designating as a R. That is why R is called as a alkyl group. You can call it as a variable side chain also. Because from one amino acid to another amino acid, variable group is only R. This is the general structure of the amino acid. Next I am going to explain one more concept about the amino acid. That is D and L. Forms of amino acid. Don't get confused. Here I wrote capital D and capital L. As we know, basically everybody know, small d and small l forms. Small d and small l relates to the optical activity, dextrorotation and levorrotation. But this capital D and capital L not at all related to the optical activity. That I will explain. For example, if you take, this is the alpha carbon. Okay, na? This is a NH2. This NH2 is present on the right side. Remaining as you like, you can write COOH, H and R. The amino group on alpha carbon atom is at right side. That amino acid is called as a D-amino acid. For example, consider this is the alpha carbon. This is the NH2. You need to remember this only. Remaining, as you like, you can write COOH, H and R. The amino group on alpha carbon atom is at left side. That amino acid designating as a L amino acid. So, capital D and capital L amino acid relates to spatial arrangement of NH2 group around alpha carbon atom. If amino group on alpha carbon atom is the right side, that is a D-amino acid. Amino group on alpha carbon atom is a left side, that is a L-amino acid. The amino acids that are involved in the protein synthesis are naturally most common amino acids are belongs to L-amino acids. That is the conclusion, like among alpha, beta, gamma, delta, which amino acids are most common? Alpha amino acids. Among D and L forms, which amino acids are most common? L amino acid. That is why which amino acids are most common means L alpha amino acids. L means, capital L means what? The amino group on alpha carbon atom is at the left side. Alpha means what? Both functional group attaches to the same carbon. That is a most common amino. This point is important during the protein synthesis or translation process. Most common amino acids are L alpha amino acids. So till now I explained about the functional classification of the proteins and general structure and D and L forms of amino acids. Till now, if you understand this concept, you can like my video, you can share to your friends and subscribe my channel. If you have any doubts about the chapter biomolecules, you comment below. Definitely I will respond to your questions. Thank you.